So I've got a confession. While getting things together for the video that was supposed to be made this week, I instead spent my time savage raiding the Arcadian. So I've decided to push that video back and put out this video going over the other job quests from 45 to 50. The other job quests being the ones not from the video a couple weeks back. Hello, I'm Itty Bitty Tivy and I'm on a journey to max every combat, crafting, gathering, and limited job in Final Fantasy XIV. This is not a difficult thing to do, but it is time consuming. We start with the Black Mage quest, The Void Gate Breathes Gloomy. Kazag Chav gathers the other beast mages and tells us to go to the Shroud to close a particularly potent void gate. We are treated to a fairly cool duty where we get to the assistance of 269th Order Mendicant Daza. Afterwards, it's back to Than to report to Kazag. Kazag Chav then once again gathers the other monster mages and serenades us with a tale of a way to acquire clothes special to black mages, and are sent to various open void gates to close them, and in doing so we get one piece of the set per void gate. After getting just 4 of the 5 Black Mage class set, Kaz sends us to Ul'dah to speak with Lalai. We are told that he's put all of the pieces together and that it was Kukuruka who was making these void gates to summon Barbados, the demon. Because long ago as a student he wanted all the knowledge. He got too high and mighty and eventually hit a wall. He eventually found a gem of Shitoto and so gathered his own beast mages to summon the demon. Quickly he resealed the demon, then imprisoned himself until much later when he went a little crazy and attempted to summon again, but with the idea to control it. Anyway, we easily take out Barbados, return to Lalai, and get the final Black Mage Guard piece, completing the A Realm Reborn Black Mage questline. Black Mage is over, monk time is now. Now we talk to Eric, the guy who wants to use us for our monk abilities. He's pretty upset that in the last quest we went to get ether readings, but Wildegard stopped us for a tussle. So we go and get the readings, but for real this time. Next we get sent to Little Alamigo. Guess what? They still don't know their home got freed. We find Wildegard and he tells us to go to places to get pieces of monk clothing. So we do, and beat up some bad people along the way. Back at Eric, he tells us he's about to brain blast his thesis. What's his thesis? The fabled 7th chakra that will liberate the already liberated Alamigo. We go to Mordona, we find Wildegard. He has gone mad with guilt and power focus, and he attacks us in a misguided attempt to get the power to free his homeland. We take him down, and Eric chides Wildegard for being so dumb since he figured out that the ever-present Aether is the chakra monks use. As penance, we are gifted a used monk chest piece. Last thing to do in Ul'dah is to finish up the Miners Guild. Deep Canyon is being a pain about being passed up as a leader of the Miners Guild, so we help his boy, Wide Gully, mine some black steel ore. We present this ore at a big conference of miners and put him to shame. Some warm words are said by the current head of the Miners Guild and everything resolves. Not much to say here. It's time for Limsa Quest, and to start, Culinarian. Big important person is coming, must find out what they like to eat, specially prepare, purchase from the market board, feed, and bam. Best cook in the realm, even Gordon Ramsay can't touch this. Now for something a little bit more interesting. We tackle both the blacksmith and the armorer's quests. For blacksmith, we get to make a really cool sword for a dude who likes to fight in the Ul'dah arena. And for the armor, we're going to make a really good chest piece so that our guild will get the contract for the local army. A sweet little story about the bronze bull replacing his sword after an old friend thought lost has a new one made. And of course the armor we make is more than enough to prove that the methods used by the Armorers Guild is superior and deserving of business. Combat job time, woo! It's scholar time. We speak with Akla Zolka, who says she knows how to make scholar clothes. We go to get some raw materials and take it to the Weavers Guild, the Goldsmiths Guild, and finally the Leathers Guild. As a side note, I honestly think that since I completed their quest lines earlier, that they remember me. And if that's true, then that's really cool. We return sporting our new gear and get sent to cast Asuna on the people of Camp Bronze Lake. Some of them even attack us with corrupted aether. This leads to the next encounter with that freak Tonberry. We go to run him down, but after a short confrontation, we learn that the Tonberry is actually the Cerrito Corrito, who, after much studying and practicing of the scholarly ways, found themselves turned into a Tonberry with no way to use the arts they studied. They bless our continued use of their stone and fairy, and that concludes the Scholar questline. I believe it's time to check in on our good friend Curious Jorge, who also has us go to collect a special armor set. We can find it all across the land, even in the swamp, and honestly just like 5 feet away from Curious Jorge himself. Jorge even tells us of the location of the 5th piece as well, which is surprising since that's usually the level 50 reward. We take out a big demon and Jorge shows up to collect the piece because me, of all people, can't be trusted with it. We soon get word that Jorge's brother is attacking Wineport again, so we go to help. After taking out some raptors, we see Jorge lay low his brother, but then is consumed with warrior rage and attacks us, so we down him and he realizes that we are actually the best person for the armor we collected, and we finish his questline. It's time to go see Oboro to do some ninja things. Can you guess what happens? If you left a comment saying, go get ninja clothes, then you are correct, and I appreciate the comment. We go to get the ninja clothes, but that rat Kurisu got to them first and gave them to his subordinates, so we do a little local fertilizing and reclaim them. Oboro then decides he's had enough of Kurisu, so we go to send him back to the Shadow Realm. Before he calmly admits defeat though, Kurisu gives some cryptic words about his boss and goes out in style. We totally notice that Oboro is feeling conflicted, so we speak to Tsubame, who tells us where we can find Oboro for some words. After which we accompany Tsubame in following Oboro, who went to meet with his old ninja master that he thought dead. Turns out the master is a turncoat, so as a unit we put an end to his treachery, earning us the final ninja armor piece from Kurisu. I thought he was dead. Either way, that puts an end to all of the A Realm Reborn job and class quests. Except it doesn't, because I forgot about Paladin. So back to Ul'dah to speak with Jen Lins. He's still investigating the poisoning of other paladins and has us, oh god, get paladin armor from other paladins. After that, he has us head to South Than to be ambushed because he believes us to be the culprit behind the poisoning. We do a trial by combat and get saved by Sulky. We knock some sense into Jen Lins and Selkie takes him to recover while we deal with the traitor problem once and for all. Turns out it was a cult behind everything, so we do what every adventuring party does and stop their ritual. Now we are done with all job and class quests for Realm Reborn. And that brings us to the end of another episode. I think only one level happened, but like I said, I spent too big a chunk of time savage raiding. That said, if you made it to the end, please leave a like for me. If you have words, then leave them in the comment section, and if you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe. I'll be honest, I love seeing that number go up. Have a good until I see you next time, and I'll see you next time.